Hey y'all, and welcome to the channel. Today is my first episode, which I hope you get a lot of value out of. This series will go over a lot, so I hope you like and subscribe so you can make sure and get alerted when new content drops. The most impressive person I ever interviewed didn't get the job. Perfect resume, top of their class, every certification you can think of, and I said no. I've led IT teams at Apple and Coinbase for over 17 years, which means I've sat on the other side of the table for hundreds of interviews. I'm gonna tell you something, nobody in tech says out loud. Being the smartest person in the room is not what gets you hired. If you've been rejected and can't figure out why, even though you're good, even though you know your stuff, this video is going to explain exactly what's happening, and it's not what you think. Real quick, so you know I'm not making this up. I didn't take the straight path into tech. At 22, I was a correctional officer until a prison riot broke my back, broke my jaw, and ended that career. So I started completely over at the very bottom, tier 1 support at Apple. 17 years later, I worked my way into leadership, and today I lead global IT operations at Coinbase, which means I've hired people, I've promoted people, I've also passed on people I really wanted to say yes to. And everything I'm gonna tell you today comes from being the person who actually made those calls. Here's what almost everybody believes gets you hired: knowledge. And if I know enough, I'll get the job. Your resume, if I make it perfect, they'll pick me. And degrees, if I had just that right piece of paper, the door would open. Those three things feel like the whole game. So let me take them on one at a time and show you why each one by itself is not enough, starting with the one people are most obsessed with. Let's start with knowledge. When I finally started interviewing people myself, a belief I had disappeared almost immediately. I used to think the interview was about finding the person who knew the most. It's simply not. Some of the most technically gifted people I have ever interviewed did not get offers. Not because they weren't brilliant, they were. But knowledge alone told me almost nothing about whether I could actually rely on them. Because here's the distinction that changes everything. There's a difference between knowledge and value. Knowledge is what you know. Value is what you do with what you know. And companies don't pay for the first one. They pay for the second. Watch how different these sound. Knowledge says, I understand Active Directory. Value says, I fix a login problem that was blocking my whole team. Every person applying has knowledge. Everyone. That's the price of entry. It doesn't make you stand out. It makes you actually blend in. The moment you start talking about what you did with your knowledge, that's when a hiring manager leans forward. So knowledge, necessary, but nowhere near enough on its own. Okay, the resume. If my resume were good enough, I'd get hired. I've probably read over 1,000 resumes, and I'm gonna be honest with you about what actually happens to them. I didn't actually read them, not really. I skimmed them in about 6 seconds. A resume's only job is to survive those 6 seconds and earn a conversation. That's it. It does not actually get you hired. It gets you in the room. And most people's resumes fail because there are a list of duties: responsible for, assisted with, familiar with. That tells me absolutely nothing. The resume that made me stop were the ones that showed outcomes, not answered support tickets, but resolved 40 plus tickets a week with a 95% first contact fix rate. Same job, completely different signal. So yes, fix your resume. Put your proof at the top third, but understand what it's for. The resume opens the door. It has never once been the thing that got someone the job. What happens after the door opens is what matters, and we're gonna get to that. Let me give you the perfect example. In my Apple interview, they slid a pin across the table and asked, tell me why this pin isn't writing. My brain raced for the complicated answer. The ink, the spring, the mechanism. Then I stopped and asked the simplest question. What's the most obvious explanation? The tip wasn't even out. I clicked it. It wrote. They weren't testing my knowledge of pins. They were watching how I think, how I would overcomplicate things. Would I panic? Or would I stay calm and start with the fundamentals? That's what they were hiring for. And that's what you can start showing today. No degree required. And this one's personal for me. I went and got a degree, electrical engineering. And I'll be straight with you. It was a complete waste of my time and money. It is not the thing that got me hired at Apple. I have hired plenty of people without a degree, and I have passed on plenty of people who had one. Because a degree tells me you can finish something that's genuinely worth something, it does not tell me the thing I actually need to know. Can I trust you when the system is down, the CEO's laptop won't boot, and everybody is panicking? A diploma has never answered that question for me, not once. So if you don't have a degree and you've been using that as a reason you can't break in, I need you to let that excuse go. It is not the wall you think it is. And if you do have one, awesome, but don't lean on it. It's not enough by itself either. So if it's not raw knowledge, not the resume, not the degree, what is it? It's trust. Interviews are not knowledge competitions. They're trust assessments. When I interview someone, the whole time I'm quietly asking myself a handful of questions. Can this person stay calm when everything's on fire? Can they explain something complicated to a stressed out, non-technical person? Will they admit when they don't know something instead of bluffing and breaking something? Will they own a mistake? Will they make the team around them better? None of those answers come from a certification or a GPA or a perfectly formatted resume. They come from character, from how you carry yourself, from the way you think through a problem out loud. So here's the truth. You're smart doesn't get you hired. Trusted gets you hired. And the good news is you can become that person starting right now. No perfect resume, no expensive degree, no 10 years of experience. Over the next few videos, I'm going to break this all the way down. The exact 5 things I look for when I hire. The best hire I ever made who had 0 IT experience, and the exact 90-day plan I'd use to break into tech if I were starting today. So subscribe, because this whole series is built for you, and I made you a free IT resume checklist, the things I actually look for as a hiring manager. It's in the first link in the description. Grab it, and let's turn your resume into one I can't ignore. I'll see you in the next one.